What we're going to look at here is how to capture, analyse and prioritise business requirements. And to help you understand this better, we will be working through a practical case study example. There are two broad approaches to development projects: the waterfall or traditional approach and agile. In the waterfall approach, a project tends to be broken down into a series of separate stages with fairly formal specification of requirements at each. Waterfall style projects generally aim to deliver a system as a whole in one go, whereas agile projects are based on the idea of delivering a system in increments, in parts. The benefit of that is rapid delivery. You get at least part of a working system early and then add to it over time. In waterfall style projects, requirements are recorded in a requirements catalogue, and that is then used to produce a fairly formal, structured specification of requirements before systems development. In agile projects, requirements are also recorded in a requirements catalogue, but maybe in less detail. These are then translated into what are called user stories that reflect user requirements and are fleshed out further using prototyping techniques. This case study example will be based on the agile approach. So I'll explain more about user stories and prototyping in due course. On agile projects, requirements start with the product vision, what the finished system will do. More detailed requirements are then derived from that and broken down in different levels of detail, top down. These are called themes, features, epic user stories, and user stories. To explain this, let's look at an example. The vision for this project is a new college administration and learning management system. There will be three main themes, three things the system needs to do overall: create courses, teach students, assess students. If we take one of those, assess students, that could be broken down at the next level into three features. In order to assess students, we need to manage tests, manage assignments, and manage examinations. Those are the three ways that students will be assessed. If you like, you could visualize that as a series of menu screens. A college user logs onto the system. What do you want to do today? Create a course, teach students, assess students. If they clicked on assess students, they might see another menu screen. Do you want to manage tests, manage assignments, or manage examinations? If we then took one of the features, manage assignments, that would break down into three elements of the system, or epic user stories. We might wish to design an assignment, set an assignment, or assess assignments. Then in turn, if we clicked on assess assignments, that has three elements, or user stories: view assignment, submit assignment, complete assignment. Another way of looking at that and visualizing it better might be through a functional decomposition of the system, as you can see here. At the top level, we have our new college administration and learning management system. That's the vision. That breaks down into three main areas, things the system needs to allow us to do: create courses, teach students, and assess students. So that is our three themes. If we take one of those themes, assess students, that breaks down into three main parts: managing tests, managing assignments, and managing examinations. The three main ways that the college assess students. Those are our three features of assess students. The other two themes, create courses and teach students, could be broken down in a similar way. Requirements on projects must be prioritised. Imagine that we've reviewed this with business stakeholders and they've said that their key priority at this point in the project is the system to help them manage assignments. We can come back to tests and examinations later. In order to manage assignments, tutors need to be able to design assignments for use within a particular course, set assignments for a group of students at a given point during their course, and then assess those assignments. So each of those is called an epic user story. It's a group of functions that will work together within the system. And if we took one of those, assess assignments, how would that work? Students need to be able to view their assignment, complete and then submit their response to the assignment, and tutors need to be able to complete an assessment and pass it on to the student. Each of those three is a user story, an individual function of our new system. So this gives us the big picture, how the system as a whole will fit together. Then we can do detailed requirements analysis, working with stakeholders at the user story level. For example, if we took one user story, submit assignment, this is how we might analyze it further. User stories are expressed in stakeholder terms from their viewpoint. So we might have talked to some of the students and boiled this down to a statement. As a student, I want to complete and submit assignments so that I can measure progress and get feedback. We might then validate and expand on that requirement using prototyping. So here you can see a prototype screen that could be developed, reviewed with the students, refined as needed, and then carried forward into systems development. In due course, we can look at this in more detail, and you can learn more about exactly how you develop user stories and how you might build prototypes. To review, you have seen how business requirements can be broken down, starting with an overall product vision are then broken down into themes, features, epics, and at the lowest level, individual user stories. So now I hope you understand a little more about business requirements on development projects, what they are, how you might capture and record them, and how to prioritize. And this should help you to work more effectively as part of a development team.